What if the strongest aren't the ones with the most support, but the one surviving despite the lack of it? Or behind every single parent is a story the world rarely sees, exhaustion hidden behind strength, sacrifice, and uh, definitely as a lot of love hidden behind. Today, on the sustainability side, we are diving into a deeply human conversation that often goes unnoticed in discussion around sustainability and social development, which is single parenthood. In many parts of the world, single parents are not just caregivers, they are providers, protectors, emotional anchors, and the problem solvers at once. And yet, despite carrying an entire household on their shoulders, they often navigate systems that they were never designed to support them. Joining us today is Otu Wales Tabe, an environmental leader, peace ambassador, sustainability advocate, and a focal point contact for Mother Care for Hope Outreach in Cameroon. With more than 2 decades of experience in communication leadership, diplomacy, and sustainable development, he brings a unique perspective on resilience, social structure, and the importance of collective support systems. This episode is just not about parenting, it's about dignity, survival, leadership, and mental strength, the communities that help families heal and thrive. Let's have our introduction, then we'll start the session.
Sing it loud, let's unite on the sustainability side. Feel the love day and night. Let's turn the tides, make a change today. Together we define our sustainable way with every step we take. We rise and glow on the sustainability side. Let the give us flow.
And welcome back to the sustainability side, Mr. Otu Wales Tabe. Am I saying it right? Was Mr. Otu
Thank you.
Wales Tabe. Welcome back to the sustainability side.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Believe me, you chose a brilliant topic where most of the individuals fail to see that because everybody says the society, being a single parent, they choose this. They bought it on themselves. But you have chosen a sensitive topic, an important topic when it comes to the sustainable development goals, and which is also part of a mental peace and mental health we are talking about here. So, my first question to you is many societies still stigmatize single parenthood. Why do you think people continue to associate it with the failure instead of a resilience?
Okay. The word resilience itself is the pushback or comeback. And many people do not think single parent can come back to their normality, to their normal creation, and to where they began. So this is my thing. This is my take. Persistent association of single parenthood with failure rather than resilience is a complex phenomenon rooted in deep sociocultural aspect, historical aspect, and some narratives aspect in life. While modern perspectives are shifting, several factors explain why this stigma endures. That's to say, why modern perspectives are shifting, several factors explain why this stigma endures, and it is as follows. One, we have the nuclear family idea. That's for decades, nuclear family. When we talk of nuclear family, we mean the two parents and the children. Nuclear family has been promoted as the gold standard for stability and social order. We have two, gender expectations. Stigma is often tied to traditional gender roles. That's when we talk of gender, we situations where a male child or a female child is prevented for doing or carrying out certain activities. We go to three socioeconomic confrontation. Socioeconomic confrontation. So frequently confuses the challenges of single parenthood with capabilities of the parent. We go to the next point, economic barriers. So all these put together are the reasons why many societies stigmatize single parenthood. Thank you.
Pure nutrition isn't manufactured, it's passed down through generations. Welcome to Ornalum. We bring you traditional cold-pressed oils, mineral-rich jaggeries, and preservative-free regional pickles packaged with respect for tradition. Real food, authentic Nagarcoil banana chips made in pure coconut oil, free from artificial shortcuts. Wholesome sweetness, time-honored goodness. Bring the authentic taste of Tamil Nadu to your modern kitchen. Shop now at store.sashaglobalconsortium.com.
That's beautiful. Continuing with the question that you have narrated us, why do you think this situation even occurred? Because initially we used to be, as a human evolution, if you see, it is a big joint family, right? As later it developed to a modernization, the idea of nuclear family came and everything happened. But right now, in the society, being a single parent, a lot of people think it's a bad thing, or it is the person, the individual has done something, and the questions being a single parent on the society is lot. They have a social pressure why they are a single parent. So how do you address this mindset? What needs to be changed?
What is to be changed is the education of who a single parent is and how a single parent should be looked at. Most of us
Hmm.
normally in most of us are, when I talk, I mean around my circle where I usually go out for work around Moyoka, which is my town. Most people think being a single parent is a taboo, which
Hmm.
there are certain causes which might certain factors sorry there are certain factors which might have caused you to become a single parent, and those factors, there are so many.
Hmm.
I think what should be changed is how people should look at single parents. Single parents, they should be given a place in the society. They should be given a place to speak. They should be encouraged to be engaged in activities that can showcase their internal talent, whereby by so most people now will start looking with a different point of view to single parents.
Hmm. Yeah. So you describe single parent as the emotional caregivers, providers, and disciplinaries all at once. What does the level of responsibility to do a person mentally and emotionally? Because as a single parent, you are taking all the responsibilities at your shoulders. So what happens to a single parent emotionally and mentally? How do they deal with things?
Okay, okay. Managing the triple roles of provider, caregiver, and disciplinarian without a partner to share the load, create a unique psychological phenomenon often described
Hmm.
as role overload. Underline that word,
Hmm.
role overload.
Okay.
This constant juggling of high stake responsibility and profound effects on person's mental and emotional landscape,
Hmm.
decisions fatigue and hypervigilance. That's when every decision from financing, planning to medical to rest, all is on one person. It leads to intense fatigue. We also have constant processing. There is no off switch for the mental labor of managing a household. This can lead to a state of hypervigilance. We have another point, the guilt loop and emotional labor. Single parents often experience a specific form of emotional distress known as parental guilt. We also have another point, chronic stress and physical mental link. The body stress response system, that's the hyperaxis, remains consistently activated in high responsibility environments. We have identity compression. Often, the person's individual identity as a friend, professional, or dreamer gets compressed into a singular identity of parent. There is also isolation.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the emotional weight of being the sole source of a child's world can be isolating. There is often lack of adult to adult. We also have points like divided self, because they must bring because they must be the primary provider. They are often physically absent because they are the role, the sole caregiver. They are failing if they aren't emotionally available. We also have lack of reflection. In a two-parent home, partners often act as mirror side by side. You understand a mirror? You look at me, I look at you. I see myself in you, and consequently, you see yourself in me. So with a lack of
Yes.
reflection, with a lack of reflection in a two-parent home, parents often act as mirrors, validating each other's parenting, validating each other's work, validating each other activity. What have you done to the children? I validate, and in return you validate me. Without
Mm.
this, a single parent may constantly second guess their disciplinary or emotional choices, leading to self-doubt. Thank you.
That's beautiful narration. Usually the world cornerize or stigmatize single parenthood. Even the people from professions like doctors, the policy makers, and most of the elders, I would say, not only elders, the younger, some of the youngers, um, it has become a social norm that you cannot be a single parent only because you did something wrong clearly. For them, what would you like to give one message to change this mindset?
First of all, what people should do to change this kind of mindset is they should put themselves in the stressful of a single parent. They should think they are the one who are single parents. How will you look yourself at it? What should be changed in this issue is basically the aspect of how a single parent is become. That's to say, what caused that parent to become a single parent. That is where we should start. That is where we should start tackling, because when we start tackling the root cause of single parental hold, we shall never have single parent, or single parental hold now will be limited in the society. That's the first point. Another point here is that when education is given at the base level of single parent, people now will start looking single parent as a normal two parental home. There will not be the stigmatization in it. Basically it is because people are not well educated on single parent. That is why I, for one, in my organization, Mother Care for Hope Outreach, we have a single parental home outreach program that we carry often, whereby we educate the society, incorporate the activities of the society and that of the single parents into one. We make sure we bring all of them, whereby stigmatization is limited. But without this, I tell you, the society cannot succeed. It is because there is no clear factor of single parental home from the base. If there is a clear factor where people are being educated, people are being educated. But I tell you, most of these professionals, even doctors,
Mm.
yes, even most professionals, even doctors, they, at their younger age, when they were schooling, they did not know anything about single parent. They came to know single parent when they were already professionals. So that makes it very difficult for them to bring back their mindset of who or how a single parent should be treated.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why I, I basically hold on education from the base of single parents. It will help the society. Thank you.
Okay. So my next question is, what is time poverty and why is it one of the biggest hidden struggles a single parent face in today's world?
Okay. Time poverty is a state where an individual lacks enough discretionary time to do what? To rest, to sleep, or to engage in activities that are not related to mandatory work or basic self-care. While income poverty refers to a lack of money, time poverty refers to a scarcity of hours that prevents a person from participating in social, economic, or personal development.
Hmm.
For single parents, time poverty is a hidden struggle because it acts as a silent tax on their mental and physical well-being, often compounding the role overload of being the sole provider, caregiver and disciplinarian. Why time poverty is a major struggle for single parents? Why is it a major struggle for single parents? I come here in. Yeah, it is a major struggle with so many things. It has so many focus on it. The first one is the double burden without a partner. It makes it a major struggle for single parents. That the double burden without a partner. You have the sacrifice of self-care. We have limited oxygen. Limited oxygen here is the constant hypervigilance required to manage a household, which
Mm,
leads to fatigue. When there is not that there is the lack of the constant hypervigilance which is required to manage the household, it leads to decision fatigue where the parent is so consumed by immediate survival tasks that have no time for long-term planning or professional networking. Okay,
mm, mm.
another point on why time poverty is a major struggle for single parents. We have the identity compression. We have reduced economic mobility.
Hmm.
There is also the reframe. There is also reframing the struggle. Reframing the struggle here is recognizing time poverty. Recognizing time poverty is the narrative from a personal failing into a structural reality. Okay.
So, do you believe children raised in the single parent homes develop a different emotional strength, or it could be an emotional weakness compared to others? Did it create any difference being a single parent's child, the traditional parent's child?
Yes. This aspect there is usually a difference, but it depends where the child grew up and how the society consider the child. I, for one, I am a single parent grown up. I am a single parent grown up. Yeah. Basically, my father died when I was still a baby. I grew up not to know my father. I have, up to this
Hmm.
age, I have been raised, lived, catered for, provided by my mother single-handedly. But I would like to bring this example with myself. I do not feel inferior in anything I do
Hmm.
because the environment I come to start to understand that when you start being inferior of yourself, you limit your progress in activities. I do not feel inferior in whatsoever I do. I am always in high competition, and this makes me even better than my children from a two-parent home. So that's why I said it depends upon first the individual, the single parent child, and
Hmm.
the environment. Environment also causes these children to grow differently. In an environment
Hmm.
where there is too much abuse of the word, you don't even know your mother, or you don't know your father, the child feels
Hmm. Hmm.
inferior, go back home crying that they have been abused, or the common word they usually say bastard. Yeah, but I cancel it. There is nothing in my dictionary as bastard, because whosoever is living as a child is from two parents. Child bringing cannot be from one parent. Child bringing cannot be from one parent. It is just rather unfortunate that most of us fall into this line of single parenthood, and we must stand for it to fight for an equal balance in the society. Thank you.
That's beautiful. You have narrated in a beautiful way. I have a curiosity question. I would say a lot of people in this world today um are they want to be a single parent by choice, not by the situation. A lot of people are choosing they want to be a single parent. What do you want to like? What is your perspective on this? Do you have any message for them?
Yes, first of all, in that aspect, I condemned that aspect. I condemn that aspect. Yeah, you should not be a single parent by your choice. If you decide to make it choice, therefore means you are against nature. Yeah, you are against nature. there is no way that a single parent will live by choice. This usually
mm,
happens mostly in the African culture, whereby they say you got this child out of wedlock, or you got
mm,
this child out of an unrecognized parent, being a mother or a father. One. Secondly, fall into temptation in situation where they find themselves being overshadowed emotionally, and when they are overshadowed emotionally either by alcohol or some emotional stress, they fall into this aspect of childbearing. And after that
mm,
act, they are becoming regrettable. They regret the action, but of which it is only already there. Whatever the case, if such thing happen, you should not regret. Don't prevent your child from knowing the parent. Think policymakers should come here. In situation like this, the parent should be punished. If any parent is
mm,
preventing the child from knowing the parent, that parent should be punished. Everyone should be given the opportunity to live with the parent, irrespective of how it came about. You should not be prevented.
mm,
Whether it's by alcohol, or you were influenced to bear a child with that person or for that person, that does not make you, or that does not give you the urge to prevent that child from knowing that person. Another thing again here is the economic stability.
mm,
Most children fall into single parentalhood not because of a natural occurrence, but just because the parent, being the mother or the father, thinks otherwise. I am financially rich. I am financially up. So I don't need anybody by my side. I don't need anybody to take care of my child, which is very wrong. You did not bring that child alone. That child was brought into the world by fusion. Biologically, when you have the Y chromosome and the X chromosome, when they come in mating, they form something. And the resultant
mm,
factor of that thing that they form is a child. So any single parent who thinks he or she can go, well, can put the child in that um you can put the child in that lifestyle of a single parent, not by nature, should be punished.
mm.
Yeah.
Actually, you answered the next question because I was about to ask, like, how does an economic instability uh, disappropriately affect single parents, especially between women in developing countries? You have answered it partially. So, if you
Okay.
want to,
No, I can still talk. I can still talk about it. I can still throw more light on it. For single parents, particularly women in developing nations like my own nation, Cameroon. I take example of myself.
mm,
So I'm from Cameroon. I like Cameroon. Economic instability is not just a financial hurdle. It acts
mm,
as a system. It acts as that amplifies existing social and logistical challenges.
mm,
The intersection of time poverty, gender wage gaps, and a lack of institutional safety nets creates a
mm,
unique compounding effect on their household. This unique compounding effect usually brings situation like one, single income fragility. In a two parent household, a loss of income or market dip is often buffered by the other partner.
mm,
That is
mm,
say in a two parent household, when one loses income or market dip is often buffered by the other partner. For a single parent, there is no such redundancy. There is no such thing. We also have another issue of the hidden tax of time poverty.
mm,
Economic requires individuals to work longer hours or take on multiple informal jobs to maintain the same standard of living.
I truly
Okay.
agree that. How can governments, NGOs, or any institution support single parent through policy and social programs?
They can support single parent household by putting them into economic activity, one. They can support single parent household by building a career for them. They can support single parent household by establishing a joint community economic drive whereby activities carried by that single parent is geared
Mm.
towards yielding an income, which in return will survive the family. Thank you.
You work extensively in sustainability and social development. How is family well-being connected to sustainable communities?
Okay. What the government can do for a single parent is to develop institutions which can take care for the need of the single parent. The need of the single parent here is not necessarily providing for them. The need of the single parent is having a counseling one-to-one with them, getting to know their difficulties and how they think first by themselves they can survive out of that difficulty. So when the government creates institutions, creates agencies to cater for single parents, it will boost the living standard of the single parent.
What a leadership lesson society or anybody in this world, what anyone can learn from a single parent.
One leadership lesson that people can learn from single parents is caring. You
Oh,
get me? Care.
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
care.
beautiful.
Care. That yes, care is the leadership lessons that I think we can learn from them. Because whenever we go for an outreach, you see the way single parents they care for their children. So caring is a leader. Yeah,
Hmm.
caring is one lesson I learned from single.
Beautiful. Now we have come to the end of this section, our session. Now we have a something called rapid fire round. So, one word that defines a strong parent.
A strong parent is one who thinks of the well-being of the children.
What keeps you motivated during difficult moments,
Hopes
during difficult
during
times?
during difficult time. Hope keeps me motivated. Hope keeps me motivated. Yeah, because I hope for the future. So I'm very much motivated.
What is the biggest misconception about a single parent? A lot of the people having in this modern world.
Most people look at them as failures. That's a misconception. If you are a single parent, then you are a
Hmm.
failure. You could not manage a home. That's just all.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's failure. That's a misconception.
Beautiful. What is a life lesson every child would learn in an earlier age? It could be anything.
Okay, how to keep yourself. Yeah, what
Mm.
a child should learn in an early age is how to keep yourself, how to keep your dignity from your tender age.
Mm.
How to keep yourself involves how to keep your dignity. How to keep yourself involves your interactions. How to keep yourself involves your educational standard.
So, one thing communities should stop judging.
Looking at single parents negatively, they should not judge them. Yeah.
So, I am asking the similar question. Thing that, or one advice you want to give it to a child of a single parent.
The advice I will give to a child of a single parent is that your situation should not be a limitation to your living. Your situation should not be a limitation to your living.
You Beautiful. So, what advice would you give it to a single parent? Any advice, or it could be any quotes, anything, or inspiration or motivation. If you want to give it to a single parent, what it would be?
Single parents should treat should single parents should nurture their children in dignity, because when they nurture their children in dignity, that child will live successfully. That child
Mm.
can face the society. So they should start nurturing their children with dignity. They should involve and
Mm.
incorporate their children with every opportunity in the society they have. They should not limit their children because of their single parental home.
That's beautiful. My final question is like, describe your life mission in one sentence.
As a child from a single parental home, I have been very successful because my mother was not limited in taking care of me because of her situation. She did not see her mother, she did not see herself as a failure. She took a positive stand. She took
Mm.
a positive stand of facing the community. Okay.
Beautiful. You have narrated everything in a very clear and a very conscious way. Any single parent out there would feel so relieved, and feels like a shared burden someone is voicing out. So thank you, Mr. Tabe, for having this thought-provoking session. It matters a lot. It means a lot to a lot of people in a society. For the perspective that they have towards this single parent, you have been an eye opener to the social barriers. So I personally thank you so much for choosing this topic and trying to discuss about
Thank
it.
you, madam. Thank you, Dr. Sama. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, and we have come to the end of our session. So, this conversation reminded us the sustainability is not only about climate technology or infrastructure. It is about people, it is about families, it is about emotional resilience, systems that shape human lives. The single parents are not the symbols of brokenness, they are the symbols of endurance, adaptability, sacrifice, and unconditional love. A huge thank you to Wales Tabe for joining us today and sharing such an honest and a meaningful perspective. So, to the viewers, those who are watching us right now, to the people who are listening to us right now, if this message conveyed to you, if this episode inspired you, changed the way you think about the family and the resilience, don't forget to like, subscribe to the Sustainability Side, share the conversation with someone who needs to hear it. Comment your thoughts. What does a truly a family strength means to you? And remember, sometimes the strongest homes are not with the abundance but with sacrifice, courage, and love. And give your love and support to Mr. Tobe. He is doing an exceptional job raising this awareness when it comes to a single parents. So give your love and support to him. It's a shared responsibility. It's a community response. So let's keep thinking. Take care. Soon take care. Until then, only on the system of design.
Feel the joy, let's unite on the sustainability side. Making waves, shining light from the city streets to the open skies. Together we rise with a love that defies.